Hey Mikey, 132 years ago, Australia played England in London at cricket, and to the surprise of all English cricket fans, Australia won. So shocked were they that the next day they published a death notice for English cricket in the newspaper. They said that the body would be cremated and the ashes taken to Australia. The following year in Australia, England were victorious, and as a bit of a joke, one of the wives of the Australian players burnt what they think was a bale, the little thing that fits at the top of the stumps, put it in a tiny urn and presented it as a bit of a joke to the English captain. The ashes are about that big, the most unimpressive trophy in world sport. But for the following 130 odd years, they have represented the pinnacle, the chief prize in all of cricket. One of the oldest sporting rivalries in the world and one of the best. Although not always on the most pleasant terms, relations between both sets of supporters and both sets of players generally have been a model for the rest of the world in what true sporting endeavour should be. Playing really hard on the pitch, but afterwards not getting too serious about it. Fast forward until the modern era, and from 1989 until 2005, much of my childhood and early adulthood, Australia reigned supreme. It just seemed a birthright for people of that age that Australia would hold the ashes. And then England, surprisingly, won them back. Australia held them again for a brief period, but as I've discussed with you, England have now held them for 4 long years. Well, that all came to an end today in Perth. As expected, although not without a bit of a fight, Australia reclaimed the ashes. England had to score another 250 odd runs. They batted really well for the first couple of hours, losing only the 1 wicket. But then after lunch, the rest of the wickets fell quickly, and before long, it was all over, and Australia have regained the ashes. So, for people of my vintage, a sense of relief has occurred. When times were going tough, and when I'd look and see that I was not as svelte as I once was, I'd always be able to think, well, at least Australia hold the ashes. And in recent years, the thought of, oh, actually, we don't, has brought my own self-image into some question. So, natural order has been restored, and the earliest that England can win them back is when Australia next visit England in 2015. So, Australia's sporting icon has returned. We are once again a great sporting nation. I will be celebrating this achievement tonight by watching TV and eating chocolate. The next test match is in Melbourne on Boxing Day, and I'm going to be there. Now, I have no belief in omens whatsoever, but I did realise that the last 3 series and the last 13 test matches that Australia have played England, I have been there for 5 of them, and Australia have lost all 5. Of the other 8, Australia have won 4, drawn 3, and only lost 1. So I'm going to be in attendance in Melbourne and Sydney, but that means nothing because omens are ridiculous, and it all doesn't matter because Australia have won the ashes. Bye.